Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to Seek Truth, Speak Truth. I hope you're enjoying your day wherever you are on our lovely rotating oblate spheroid. Thank you so much for choosing your Sunday evening to spend with me. Please don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help people sort of see the notifications and jump along to say hello. So just say hello to the chat. Ricky Bell, good to see you, mate. Always a pleasure for you to come along. Thank you so much. The Snark, he is currently working on a better version of my song. The first one actually was great anyway, but the second one will obviously be better. So make sure you click on the Snark. He does basically kind of like comedy songs to well-known themes, and they're so funny. Make sure you check the Snark out. He more or less everyone he's done a song on, so go and check that guy out. Fred Bailey, always a pleasure. Paige Turner, hello, hope you're doing okay. IB Hunter, Pixel Domination, good to see you all. IB Hunter, thank you very much. Great video, love the look on that guy's face. Yeah, the video being referred to was my video earlier, and it was MC Toon. He is the best, or one of the best debaters out there, and yeah, he had this guy twisted in knots. It was so funny. But go back and check that out, or if not, check out MC Toon's debate with Water Is Always Level. It's hilarious. He pulls such a great face. Krafty Keelah, hello. I hope you're doing okay. Tommy Grønvold, Bullet Bill, hello, buddy. Good to see you. Dado Pharmaceutical, also laundry and tan. Likes possums. Opossums. Great. I like turtles. That was a funny thing. Tommy Grønvold, hello, buddy. Again, anyone, I'm good, Crafty, thank you very much. Round Thinker, hello, buddy. I do have a guest or two lined up. They may, obviously sort of jump in when they're ready, basically. Again, it is an open platform. Anyone want to jump on, email seektruthspeaktruthofficial@gmail.com, and you will find your way onto the stream. So obviously, if you want to come on for a chat, do so. It's a Sunday, free time. Let's just have a chat. But thank you very much. Round Thinker as well. Everyone has got to check out this guy's channel. He's real sort of up and coming, I think, at the minute, and he's having a lot of guests on there. I will be on there like as a live chat with him at some point, but he's had a lot of people go on there. So big respect to you, Round Thinker. Yeah, so like I say, anyone want to come on, obviously Bullet Bill, Tommy Grønvold, Crafty, literally anyone in this chat right now, come on for a chat if you wish to just chat about the world, the problems going on within it. But yeah, Dave Mack should be along. And then I'll have another guest called Paul, and he was on a stream with Mr. Sensible the other night, well, about a week ago, and I was on there, and I found him a very interesting guy, and so I've asked him to come along. He should be here when he can, basically. But yeah, no, Round Thinker, that's absolutely brilliant. That's literally like, that's what I want to do, is just kind of spread the love, shall we say, get the word out there on who these other channels are, these realist channels. We're easily outnumbering the flat earth channels now, which is funny. I think kind of when I first became a flat earther, which was, so I was a flat earther for 2.5 years, so it was about 3.5, 4 years ago now. It almost felt like there was nothing fighting against it, if you know what I mean. I know there was, but now it's just gone crazy. I think Krafty Keelah just emailed FE peer review, mate. You should jump on for a chat as well. So yeah, just gonna get a link sent out, get some guests on, so it's just not me rambling to myself. It's not coming through for some reason. Bullet Bill's right there. There just doesn't seem to be much energy behind Flat Earth anymore. It really doesn't. You know, it's turning into what it should be, not being horrible, but basically a laughing stock, if you know what I mean. And the more people that then come into it, that are on the fence, the kind of like the globe proofs and the community just so outweighs the flat earth now that yeah, it can only go down. We do live in obviously in a world of misinformation, etc., and it is bad, but you know, it can't be like that forever, surely. It seriously can't. Oh, Crafty, sorry, can you email me? I'm sorry, I'm just like trying to fumble and I can't quite work all this out like whilst I'm doing this. So, but anyone else, FE peer review? Yes, mate. Seek truth, speak truth, official at gmail.com, and I will send you a link to come and jump on. TGK2, hello, good evening to you, sir. So I think my chat is actually a bit further behind than what I'm kind of seeing here. So it's throwing me off a little bit. Oh, right. Crafty should have emailed me. I'm on the wrong email. It's not coming up. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put a link to the chat straight into, where are we? It's not coming through. For some reason, my internet isn't reloading the new messages. That's not good. Let me work out a way of just getting it in the chat. Bear with me, guys. No, something's going wrong here. Let me see. Hopefully, this is going to still stay. Gary Wybenger, please don't copy and paste. You're welcome, but do not keep copy and pasting. I've just got to come out of this for a second, guys. I probably should still stay on. I think I need to send it via my phone rather than my tablet. Should still keep going. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right, nearly. I've sent a link to Tommy Grønvold, Krafty Keelah. Sorry, guys. This is going to be like, I'd rather just get this done quickly and then we can just get on with the stream, if you know what I mean. We got Bullet Bill. Yeah, FE peer review. If you could email Seek Truth, Speak Truth official, and I'll get you a link as well, buddy. Hopefully we're still up and running. Hopefully we're still going. Sorry for that calamity. Krafty Keelah.
Hello, hello.
Hello, thank you. Can you bring some sanity to my stream, please?
Never. If you're looking for sanity, you've asked the wrong girl.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Now, I wouldn't have, if I was looking for sanity, I wouldn't have asked you on, to be honest. So, how are you?
By the way, just so you know, YouTube's live chat has been screwing up for the last like 2 or 3 days. So, particularly on mobile, it just doesn't work. After about 5-10 minutes, it kind of catches up in on the laptop. But for me, it's just been messing up.
I get you.
It's annoying. It's very annoying.
That really is. We've got a couple of other guests as well.
He's gone! I've taken over! Mwahaha. It's my show now. Hi, people. You back?
There we go. Right. Add to screen.
Hey!
I'm well off. There we go.
Hey.
Bill,
Hello, Bill.
Tommy Grønvold.
Hello.
How we all doing?
I am getting sleepy, but I'm good.
It's Sunday night as I'm doing the Dell impression.
Your connection seems to die for like a few seconds when you.
Don't be telling him that. You take over his channel. That's the whole point. No, I swear, I didn't hack your phone. You're all right.
No, I think I've had a few. My connection has been dropping a couple of times tonight. Like the other few nights, it seemed all right, but yeah, hopefully it kind of sorts itself out a little bit, shall we say? I'm loving that glow behind you, Tommy.
Hey, thanks.
Where'd you get that?
It's just a local store in the neighborhood here.
Cool.
That's nice. Bullet Bill, how are you, bud?
Yeah, all right. Just been working on my website today and stuff. So.
Okay. What for your new business venture, is it? Or
my new line of work, so I want to be a developer, so I want to be able to say, check out my own website.
Oh, yeah.
And all that. So
I suppose that helps, don't it? Yeah.
It does, yeah. I've just been actually, what I've been enjoying recently is FTFE has got Red's Rhetoric has seemed to like joined FTFE's channel rather than just having it himself. And Red's Rhetoric is one of my favorites actually because I think he's just kind of ruthless, I mean, he really does put people to the fire, which I think is good.
Agreed.
Yeah. He's great. Obviously the observations he does as well, doesn't he, with the the shuttles and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think Red's Rhetoric is an example of a guy that I mean, well, he still is technically an amateur, but a guy that he was only ever just really into rockets, really liked rockets and liked filming them. But because of his getting into debunking and all that sort of thing, he's learned so much and improved his setup so much to the point where now, like, it's insane the stuff that he can do. I mean, he can literally like track the rocket going up, with software or something like that. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, he uses stuff alongside
Astronomy Live.
Astronomy Live, and Astronomy Live. That's his software. And the two of them together they're a force to be reckoned with. I tell you. And what's great is because like us over this side of the world would never really have much of a chance to see a rocket launch properly. So it's great to have people like themselves to watch.
That's totally on my bucket list.
Yeah. I'll eventually get there. I'll eventually
go at the minute. Sorry. So you guys keep talking. I'm just trying to send a link.
You're sideways here.
He'll come back to us. Don't worry.
Sorry if I
Brainy Beaver was
I'm trying to send a link to peer review.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, my tablet.
He's not hearing us.
Trying to send him a link.
To who?
FE peer review.
FE peer review.
Yeah.
What happened?
So, yeah, I've got.
Is Gary in the chat playing again? Am I going to have to time him out again?
Play record
Bring
roll.
it, Gary. Bring it.
Just bring it,
Gary. I had a video of him here a few days ago. 15 top, bottom, whatever, Gary. And he was crying about that copy-paste thing that he was timed out all the time because he just showed up.
He's a twat.
Well, start with showing up, not copy-paste. See how that works.
Yeah. That's the thing. If he came into the chat and said, "You are all wrong, and here's why I think you're wrong," people would just like banter with him and whatever. But it's the fact that he comes in and he copy-paste, like 3-4 in a row. It's actually like copy pasta spam.
The funny thing is with Gary is I'm pretty sure that he's subscribed to your channel in quite a few
Mine?
Because he always turns up pretty promptly, you know, to live streams, things like this. So.
Yeah.
Seeks. He never comes into my chats. He's too smart to come into my chats, and that's giving him a hell of a lot of credit.
A few times.
I'd have him on.
Just minutes after I posted a video, and he's there.
I would have him on if he wanted to come on, have a little chat with him.
I probably will not following Wednesday, but next, the 10th.
But yeah, I've been enjoying Reds. I still remember actually when he took on JM Truth. Because I don't know when Flat Earthers are going to learn. You know, if there's anyone you want to avoid going after, Red's Rhetoric is one, because he will notice and he will challenge you and he will call you out. And because I don't know if you remember, like he was going to like analyze his footage and prove that it was wrong. But
you're going to talk about negative exponents?
No, not even that. I was going to talk about the stroke of genius was that he actually found, because the whole angle with JM Truth was, you know, like, oh, I'm a professional videographer, I can tell these things, and he
DKG custom
Red brought on a guy who literally had an Emmy in special effects that genuinely knew his stuff.
Yeah. That was DKG Customs, and he was there polishing his Emmy. It was great.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Hello,
That's the incident moment of the year.
Hey, Krafty.
Hello, mate.
How are you?
Hey.
Hi, everybody. You can call me Tony. FE Peer Review is kind of a weird first name.
Hi, Tony.
You're low. Could you turn up your volume?
We've got a lot of people here.
I'm kind of keeping my voice down because there's other people in the house and I don't want to wake them up.
See.
There's other people in my house too, but I don't give a fuck.
No.
No, I do really.
And no fucks were given that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of just saw FE Peer Review when he said, oh, you know, he's going offline in a minute. So, sorry, I got that link to you after then, if you know what I mean, mate. But it's good to actually speak to you.
Yeah, it's nice to be here. It's nice to see you all. I feel like maybe next week I'll be more prepared, but
hopefully I will too.
I'm trying to.
I'm just
I don't know.
wow, gee, I should have shaved.
Come here. I do a show every Sunday with Steaming Cup of Reason every Sunday morning, Sunday evening for him because he's in Vietnam. But Sunday morning for us. Do you know when we plan the topics for we plan the topics like 20 minutes in advance. And like the whole point of a random hangout is that it's random. You could bring anything up.
Well, I'm sure I could be random if I tried hard.
Yeah, that's funny on the EIE network the other night. I kept calling Steaming Cup of Reason Streaming Cup of Reason because I knew it wound him up like someone else had said it. So I kept deliberately saying it, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, buddy." Like,
oh, poor Jeff. Limey Play says, "If I had a quid for every F bomb you've dropped today, I'd be a wealthy man." That is true, Limey Play. I do use the F word a lot. That's just being a dog.
She's Irish, though, isn't she?
I'm Irish.
She can get away with it.
I've been saying it since I was 4. It was one of the first words I learned.
Oh well, actually, it's frickin' Irish.
Feck, which is a brilliant. I don't know why I love that so much.
Well, it's really funny because it's fine for Europeans. Europeans get it, but Americans, when you call someone a bastard, they actually take it to heart. We call people a bastard like they call people assholes. We don't mean it. We really don't.
We have something similar in Norway called hestkuk, and that's the cock of the horse. But that's also something that's really not that bad.
The cock of the horse.
If I ever go to Norway now, I know that
some of my relatives.
All over to Tommy's.
Hestkuk.
What was it again?
That's it.
Hestkuk.
Hestkuk. I'll type it in there. Hestkuk. That one in the chat.
So it's like horse cock.
Yep. You can call the police that and you won't get fined. It's true.
Really?
I wouldn't risk it. No offense, Tommy. I'm sure you know what you're talking about, but I probably.
There's actually precedent because someone was freed for it in 2 years ago or something. Called the police a hestkuk and it passed.
Nice.
It's been tested in court.
I used the C word in a bar in Michigan. Everyone stopped talking to me and just stared at me. It was epic. Limey, the C word is my best friend. I'm just going to say that now. I was in work the other day. Yeah. I was in work the other day, and one of the lads said, "Oh shit," or something like that. It's like, "Excuse my French," and I was like, "I say worse in my sleep." So relax your cats.
It's a language of expression, though, isn't it? If you know what I mean, it's a great word. Yeah. I always find it a bit silly how we spend, like a child when they're growing up, you tell them never to swear, and then as soon as you're 18, it's just like F this, shit that, and do you know what I mean? So I think it's about you really be teaching them when is appropriate to swear. Do you know what I mean? Rather than never doing it.
TGK2 hates the word cunt. I don't know why. He doesn't know why, but he hates the word cunt. I'm sorry, did I just say it? Oops.
There's
You just said it twice, Crafty.
When kids are growing up, they're gonna learn all the swear words and stuff like that, aren't they? But it's just knowing that it's not really something you should be saying in public. It's okay. And
then again, back to red territory with a team
cunt. It becomes like a naughty word. Yeah. My niece and nephew. As soon as it becomes a naughty word, a child wants to say it, don't they?
My niece and nephew keep saying it to me. Language. And we were on the we had a gaming stream there yesterday, and I said something, and Millie was like, "Keelah, language." I was like, "Don't you fucking tell me no language when I'm on fucking stream. I'm an adult. You're not allowed to say it. I'm allowed to say it." She's just sitting there like, language.
Oh, No, like I say, it's an expression, isn't it? I mean, people get offended too easily, I think, sometimes.
Big time.
I won't be offended either, don't worry.
Yeah.
I think you're good here.
Yeah.
I
think
if
give
we
a fuck.
hit-
Did he
if
give a
we
fuck
hit
about
3
anyone getting
speedways
offended?
on the stream, though, that'd be a bit too far.
TGK2 says thanks because he's never heard it in an Irish accent. So, there you go. Marcus
cheers,
says,
everyone, for coming along.
I hate swearing. It's fucked up. Absolutely.
I tell you what, there's another thing I noticed. The Dead Kennedy in Space posted a video about YouTube ads, and yeah, the weird. You know what the weird thing is with YouTube ads is that they're YouTube are very, 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 very sensitive about what they monetize, and you all know about this, Seek, because you've been there.
Well, yeah, I went months. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but when it comes to the adverts that they're willing to put on, they don't really seem to give a shit. They will just,
Yep.
they'll take that money. And because I don't know about the rest of you, but some of the ads I see, the one that always cracks me up was, man gets fired for inventing indestructible drone. It's always this conspiracy-laden nonsense, like, oh, this is what the, like hairbrush industry don't want you to know or whatever. But, you know what I mean? It's always shit like this.
Yeah. There's even
I
anti-5G ones on there at the minute.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen ones like advertising David Icke and things like that.
Wow.
Literally on an anti-5G video, and then you've got a David Icke advert on before it saying like everything's a lie, come to my website. And I'm thinking, what?
It's
Like,
just...
YouTube even banned him from YouTube, and now they're just allowing him to like advertise to go elsewhere.
Well, what they've done, what they probably haven't done is I don't think there's any checks for what they advertise, really, at least as far as I can tell, in terms of the terms of service. Because you think about traditional media, you cannot just advertise whatever you want.
Yeah.
There's standards that you have to fulfill, and that's to stop people like idiots like David Icke, like vlogging his stuff. But YouTube just apparently don't really care about that, and just like, we'll advertise it.
Well, what's great is I'm not monetized yet. I don't have the watch hours yet, and I'm taking my time getting to the watch hours. But so I can say anything I fucking want. It's great. It's great.
Well, I mean, to be honest, like
Same
even swearing, obviously, you just got to look at, say, Team Skeptic or an FTFE debate. I honestly don't think swearing alone is enough to get demonetized.
It's not.
I think you've got to do, obviously, if you just sat there saying FC, the whole stream, it's probably going to, but it's not enough to trigger it. Do you know what I mean? You've got to be also having, say,
You suggest an interesting experiment.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. 15 minutes of it's just it would be pretty tiring.
Same fucking cunt all the time for 15 minutes. That'd be interesting.
Try it.
I'm not monetized.
Just put like
you are.
6-hour video out of it or something.
I mean, I know Team Skeptic he gets his videos taken down for being anti-mask when he's calling out anti-maskers, and you think, well, they're clearly not doing their because the problem YouTube have is they're trying not to do a proper job. They're trying to shortcut it, So
make as much money as they can.
Videos that mention anti-mask or things like that. And there are two types of videos you're going to find when you do this. One are people that are anti-mask. Two, people that are criticizing people that are anti-masks. Those are complete polar opposites points of view. So you cannot just say, demonetized. Obviously they can and they do, but do you know what I mean? That's the problem.
Isn't part of the problem that they're down to a skeleton crew? A lot of it is being picked up by the algorithm. And they just don't have the manpower to actually go through individually.
That's the problem, but they're not going to get the manpower unless they employ more people and build up more infrastructure to actually check these things properly. And I understand you're not going to be able to get a human to check each and every one of these videos. You're not. But there needs to be more like human eyes actually looking through these videos because they're not getting it right.
Well, I went back over. There was the Joe Rogan podcast on Twitter. They had the CEO and someone from the head of the complaints department or something like that on talking about how they monitor and what constitutes a ban and how they're processing that. It was very interesting, actually.
That would be, yeah.
This is the same as the people in the States going into Walmart without a mask and stuff. This is just private organizations, private companies. They can do what they want. It's not freedom of speech.
No, do you know what? I fucking can't stand anti-maskers. I can't stand Karens. I just have no time for them. And I don't really watch the videos on them because there's not really a payout. There's not really a payout at the end, except for just to say, these guys are idiots. These guys are cunts. These guys are like they have no idea what they're talking about. But there's no actual in a lot of the videos that I've seen. There's not much behind like analyzing why they're doing it. And I'm intending to do it, but I just want to make sure that the pandemic is over so they don't get nuked. And it's not to take the side of the Karens or the anti-maskers. It's just to explain this is why people are not believing that COVID is real. This is why they're not using the masks. So, yeah, it's a pain in the arse, really. The whole situation
in Norway,
is a pain in the arse.
Quite the opposite, because when you go into the shops, there is almost no one not wearing masks. Everyone is wearing them, so...
Same here. Here. Although we do have our idiots who went out into the streets and fucking protested against the lockdown. There was only about 100 of them. Let them fucking get COVID and see what it's like.
The one thing I don't get is when it's people say they're gagging them because something. Even if you have this one on, you can still say what the F you want. It's
Here's the thing. I have a niece and nephew, right? Both have asthma, both have extreme allergies, and both go around wearing masks. What's the problem? Yeah. My sister has issues breathing. She'll go around with a mask. If she can't wear a mask, if she's not able to wear a mask, she'll wear a face covering, which aren't as effective, but they're still fucking pretty good. It's better than nothing. Do you know what I mean? It winds me up. Oh, for medical reasons, I can't wear a face covering. No, you're fucking lying. I'm sorry. There's no reason for you not to wear a mask. There is no reason. If you can't wear a mask, wear a face covering. There's new ones out that go from your nose down.
If you're so sick that you can't wear a mask, don't leave your house. Just stay home. Let somebody else.
Or walk around with an oxygen mask. There you go. Your mouth and nose are covered with the oxygen. There you go.
You would be in hospital though. You'd be in hospital on a bed, probably with an oxygen mask. If your breathing was that poor that a mask would, impair it. It's just nonsense. I mean,
it's about control. It's about control. They've lost control of their lives because they can't work. They can't do what they usually do. And a lot of these Karens in particular, like their routines. Their routines are fucked now because of COVID.
Yeah.
And they don't like being out of their routines, and so they're throwing tantrums. A lot of it is about lack of control. And that's why they're throwing the tantrum.
I think that's where the conspiracy mindset comes from, isn't it? Is like feeling so out of control of your own life that to gain control, you kind of believe things that are very easy to believe because you then feel in control again.
Well, it's also an acceptance that you don't have control, but somebody has to. Somebody does. Somebody has to have control over something, and it is the delusion that there are a group of people who have control over the rest of us. And in reality, they are not that united. They are not that intelligent. And they're not that cohesive. That's the problem.
That's what I say to people, even like, you know, where in the flat Earth movement, like, where are the people that, you know, actually battering down the Houses of Parliament or something and saying like, the Earth is flat. Why are you all teaching this? Do you know what I mean? Like, and that just shows you that it actually isn't as big a movement as even what we would consider as small movements. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no one out there in the real world that is going, you know, the Earth's flat. We've got to go to the Houses of Parliament and tell them. And it just.
Well, I'll give you a laugh.
They can
I'll
be
give you a
under
laugh,
one
right?
Nathan Thompson.
I'll give you a laugh.
Yeah.
When I had the flat earther in my house, and it wasn't just flat earth that he was into. He believed, this is how I got started on YouTube. I had a flat earther in my house, and he was coming up with all this, any conspiracy nonsense that you could think of, and one of them was Freemasons. Now, Masons exist. We know Masons exist. Down beside me, there was a store, and the owner of the store was a proud Mason. So what did I do? Next time I went shopping, I took him to meet this man. And I said, can you explain what your organization is about? Oh, we just talk business. It is just a social gathering for businessmen in the area. That's it. There's no there's no rituals. There's no secret society. It is just an intimate party where we can talk business and the local area and whatever. That was it. No conspiracy. No nothing.
But he would say that, wouldn't he?
No, but he was happy to have like a 2-hour conversation. A 2-hour conversation demystifying what the Freemasons stand for and what they're about.
Yeah.
Now that experience was more powerful when he heard the truth from a person who's in the organization than anything that I could have said, the theoretical nonsense. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of these, as I've said to you before, a lot of these conspiracy theorists go on emotion. So if you're able to combat the emotion behind the conspiracy, you're more likely to change their minds a little bit.
That's also something I don't understand, why all these conspiracy theorists have anything to do with the shape of the Earth.
Yeah.
They can tell anything they want, but the Earth is the shape it is, no matter what.
Yeah, again, it's about control.
Yeah,
they believe, a lot of them. I've spoken to flat earthers in private. There are people who reach out, which is great, and I would encourage them to continue to reach out. So in private, a lot of them are saying, you know, there's resources, there's scarcity of resources, and they're hoarding these resources up at the ice wall or up at a secret headquarter, and that's a valid concern. That is a valid concern.
Yeah.
But it's misdirected.
That's what led me to flat Earth, actually, was like thinking that, again, like, you know, say hidden lands beyond Antarctica. Yeah. And, you know, I was kind of thinking, there is more to this world, but it kind of got hidden. They started saying like, oh, what's the point? You know, like, we'll keep this to ourselves now. Let them guys fight over that bit and we'll have paradise. And kind of, do you know what I mean? So these thoughts can come into your mind. And yeah, like you say, it just leads on.
Going back pre-Columbus, and I mean years before Columbus, the Europeans were convinced that everywhere in the world had been found. You know, that was the world. Yeah. And then
hence the four corners of the world, yeah.
Yeah, several explorers, not just Columbus, came back and reported, nope, there's more land over here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's it. I mean, obviously, now we have satellite imagery, don't we, if you know what I mean? So it's kind of scanned the whole globe. So we know that there's nothing there, if you know what I mean. But like, say before that, yeah, there could be these fairy tales made up and myths and legends and things like that, don't they? And there's a lot obviously around the North Pole, isn't there? And you know, but it's just
NASA is hiding the resources.
Yeah, but honestly, that is a genuine concern that they have, that they're hiding these resources, they're hiding oil, they're hiding extra food, and they're creating scarcity in the world until they can drive up profit. That's genuinely what one flat earther said to me. They're waiting until it's they can get enough money out of it. And I'm like, well, if they already have control over the wealth of society, which they do, then why do they need to create even more scarcity to get more wealth? Because they have enough wealth.
When it
I'm no environmentalist, but I don't see a problem when the oil is gone, because electricity is getting more and more. Like here in Norway, we have the most electric cars in the world, and most of the power is by water or wind. So, well, you have places you have coal electricity, but I really don't see the problem without oil.
Neither do I.
when it
Get
comes
rid
down
of
to
it. It's nasty
Yeah.
anyway.
more scarce. We
The thing. Sorry,
any
go on.
generation in the past. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, sure, we want more. We always want more, but we're living easier lives than our parents and our grandparents.
But even back in
That's
the
the purpose.
1800s, they were saying everything that could be invented has been invented, and
Yeah.
then came electricity. Then came airplanes, then came technology. Do you know?
I think the thing, going back to COVID for a second, I've been watching Irish Demons videos.
Oh, you don't want to do that. I'm
I
joking.
went back and initially I thought, oh, this guy's not that good. I'm gonna unsubscribe. And then
He's improved so much, hasn't he?
yeah, and I went back on, actually, to be fair, and he's decent. But he's been reported because the corner of the world that he's in, Australia, is now in lockdown, and apparently, everyone's just lost their minds there as well.
Panic buying.
I didn't understand it then, but I don't understand it now again, and it's almost like, especially now for Australia, it's very odd because surely they would have seen the panic buying before. So I'm just, I don't think I've ever really got that. It's some sort. I don't know if people have just invented this apocalypse in their head, and they're like.
I think people have such a hive mentality, don't they? I was watching a little bit about the stuff, obviously, that happened at the Capitol recently, and they were doing like a breakdown of it, and like, you know, people were in there and they had no idea what they were going to do. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was just a massive group of people, and they're just walking around, and nobody had a plan, and there's just basically zombies all following each other, because, you know, one foot after the other, and they didn't even know what they were doing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Most of them didn't.
Yeah.
And having
that's the same
gone
with
having gone back and watched some of the footage that wasn't available to us on that day, I can say some of them didn't know what they were doing. Most of them didn't really know what they were doing, and they were actually shocked. And you can see it in them. They were actually shocked they got through the doors. But there were those people who knew exactly what they were doing. They went to Washington the day before and got a private tour. They knew exactly where to go, what to do. There was about 20 or 30 individuals telling people where to go. Like, that is terrifying.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was terrifying.
Yeah. And how, like, under, you know, so unguarded it was, if you know what I mean. Like, surely that is obviously a lesson now as to, like, you know, these places in a way, it's going back to medieval in a way, I suppose, but they've almost got to be impenetrable, haven't they? You know, like, you cannot allow, you know, just people to walk in on such an important place like that.
Well, to be honest, I think they got what they wanted, for the most part. Not the really crazy ones, the ones that knew what they were doing, but the rest of them, in the back of their minds, they were thinking, well, this is going to shut down the access to Biden's inauguration at worst. At best, Trump will remain in office, which was never going to happen. But at worst, we're going to shut down the inauguration. And they did.
I mean, these QAnon guys, though, I assume you all know about QAnon.
Yeah.
Heard of it.
That is just absolutely insane. I mean,
isn't that just a troll?
People,
it's beyond the troll. It's beyond the troll.
These people just, there's the disconnect with reality is insane. It's like flat Earth at scale, to be honest. And has anyone heard about what they thought would happen at Biden's inauguration?
That Trump would be inaugurated.
Yeah, Trump would be reinstated, and all the Democrats would be arrested and let out. And
They genuinely thought that the National Guard would go in and fucking arrest them all.
They genuinely did, and then it didn't happen, and then some
They
of
were
them were
gutted.
thinking,
They were gutted.
what's happening? And
Someone talked about that face-off thing where they're going to change the faces of Trump and Biden.
Yeah.
I heard one I heard was like, Trump was actually reinstated, but it was done behind closed doors in secret, because they didn't want to get people up, worried.
The denial is alarming.
Just insane. Or there's some people that say, "Oh no, it won't be now. It will be this date in the future." And
well,
I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, and one of the reasons why. So Lindsey Graham, not to make all of this about politics, but Lindsey Graham came out and said, I've been one of the people who has behind closed doors challenged Trump, and then he came out and said, but Trump is God, basically. So he's backtracked, and one of the reasons why he's backtracked was when Trump left office, he created a new office, the office of the former president, and a lot of critics are now saying it's either because he wants to create a media empire, and we have Eric here in the chat. Eric, you should come on. Seriously, man. Eric is brilliant. It's either
JSS Tiger, sorry, Krafty. JSS Tigers sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you very much. God bless the USA from Ohio. Yeah, God bless. Thank you for that, buddy. Sorry, Krafty.
You're right, but it's either because he wants to run in 2024 or because he wants this bloody media empire to start. So if he does want to run in 2024, that's why the impeachment, they're really focusing on impeachment because he won't be able to. But if he does run in 2024, there is a possibility that he could still get the Republican nomination. And if he doesn't get the Republican nomination, he'll split off with with a new party. That's the fear.
I think that says more about the people than the president or Trump. If they vote for him one more time, it's just way beyond me.
Yeah, but I mean, the point of the last 10, 15 years is people have gotten so polarized that they're being driven to those extremes. They're either the extreme left or they're either the extreme right. So conservatives, there used to be conservatives in the Democrats, and now they've kind of been pushed out. The same thing, there used to be quite liberal people in the Republican Party, and they've been kind of driven out. So, it is going to more and more extremes.
I think with Trump, it's not even. I would argue it's not even a right wing thing with Trump. It is a
populism
thing.
It's a populism
it's
thing.
Like whatever, because with Trump's base, still whatever he says is true. It doesn't matter. Whatever he says, whatever he wants. That's how loyal his fans are. And I'm no expert in politics, but one thing I think is important is even the people that you are behind, that you agree with, that you are a supporter of, you've got to hold them accountable for when they get things wrong. You've got to be the person to say, hold on a minute. Because if you don't, then who else will? I
think you said it right there with fan rather than supporter. If you know what I mean?
Fanatic. They're not even fans, they're fanatics.
Yeah.
I'm going to head off. I'm going to go to bed. So, see you all.
FE peer review, thank you very much,
see you,
mate.
Tony.
Love to Tony. Bye.
Everyone in the chat, check out FE peer review. He does some great actually does peer review on flat earth videos. So that is one of the only people in the world actually peer reviewing flat earth content. So yeah, check out FE peer review. Thanks for coming along, mate.
Bye.
Cheers, buddy.
Bye.
Legend.
I don't peer review them. I just show how impossible it is.
Yeah. Well, I think they need it from all angles, though, don't they? Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone use the best of their abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to be done. Yeah, these conspiracies are just getting crazy, though, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Like, just I did a video recently about tribalism, and it makes me think, obviously, about what happened recently, and I saw a video where kind of one of the people at the Capitol got behind, and they managed to start waving this American flag, and like they show you it, like it was at that moment where, obviously, right, we've spotted, and the crowd just went boom like that, and just everyone went, and again, like this herd mentality where they're doing something, but they don't know what they're doing. They're like kind of worker ants.
What's disturbing is a lot of them were talking about, even in the chamber that night when they were discussing their objections, they were talking about like the last attack on the parliament kind of thing. But even at that last point, in I can't even remember what date it was. I think it was 1876 or something. But even at that point, the Confederate flag never entered the Capitol building. This time around, they brought the Capitol flag, the Confederate flag into, and you could see it flying. And what was more disturbing for me, if you're a patriot and you call yourself a patriot, taking down the American flag and putting up a Trump flag is not patriotic. It's actually the opposite. Thank you very much. That was scary. That was scary. Seeing the Confederate flag actually fly through the halls of Parliament, and seeing the actual flag being taken down and replaced with Trump's face. It says all. It says all about these people.
Yeah.
Obviously, in that speech, he sort of said, like, I want you all to walk on the Capitol. I'll be there with you. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I saw interviews and people were going, Trump's with us. He's here. He's with us. He's walking there with us.
No, he wasn't. He was back in the White House.
Yeah, he was never there. And these people were walking with the belief that he was with them.
Quite literally, yeah.
That's crazy. A few more people in the chat, so I'll just say hello to a few people. Jesse102, good to see you. Eric Hare, hello. Nals077, thanks. Yeah, sorry, I just thought I'd say hello to a few people in the chat quickly.
Go ahead.
Also, Gary was back without copy pasting.
Yay!
Is he? Way.
Yeah, peer review.
We
we
don't.
didn't say anything but peer review then.
That's actually quite funny. Review. See, that's funny, Gary. That's what we want. Yeah. Well done. Practical. Hello, buddy.
Sir Sloppy Vids. Yes, we are live.
Is he really live? Yes, I am. I am really, really live. It's been a while. It's been a long time coming, shall we say? Everyone that is in the chat at the moment, if you can see the pinned message at the top, there is a new channel called Truth Debates, and very, very soon, I think once we get to 100 subscribers, we will start making content on there. We do already, I believe, have a debate lined up for it, so it's exciting. And yeah, so please do hit that subscribe just on the pin message just there.
I may be able to help you out there. Potentially. There's a guy, Tim Osman. You know Tim Osman. I don't even know if he's a flat earther. He's one of he was I was talking to him in Jose's chat one time. And he was saying some anti-global warming stuff, some climate change denial stuff. And I said, "I'll debate you. I'll debate you on this, no problem." And we had arranged a date, but he didn't turn up. And I'd prepared for this as well. I bookmarked some stuff. I read up on it, but he didn't. He didn't show up in the end. So either I can get in touch with him, and if he agrees to it,
yeah,
maybe.
I know, show flat earther. Oh no.
Yeah,
it's just
that's the thing, isn't it?
I don't think he was even like. I don't think he was even like chickening out or whatever. I think he just didn't like go through with it, which is still.
He
not
never
very
fully
good.
committed.
I took the effort to like prepare, and I was there on time. We just didn't. But whatever. But yeah, climate change
It is sad.
is another one.
Yeah, I've known of people before really preparing for debate and then just the other person just does a no-show. But at least you've prepared for it, do you know what I mean? So if we can get over him or another person, that would be cool.
Climate change is not my... It's not something I know a huge amount about, so I'm not just going to, turn up and just and just ad-lib, because I can't do that. I need to make sure I've got my facts straight. Because you've got to double check. That's the thing with conspiracies is, I think the best way to combat conspiracies is, I mean, obviously don't get into them in the first place, but with everything that you hear, even if it's from what you think is a really, really trusted source, sometimes, with everything that you hear or you read about or someone tells you about, always be willing to say, oh, is that right? You sure about that? Just and don't be afraid to double check it. Maybe it is. Maybe it's completely fine. But it takes so little time to just do a quick little fact check, and it will just stop you from. Because actually, YouTube ad again. Does anyone remember the one for Kylo? Has anyone seen that Kylo?
No.
See, I'm a Prime. I have what is it? The premium. So
YouTube
I don't
Premium.
get.
I'm so sorry.
I don't get ads.
As commoners, you see, have to watch ads. But Kylo, I got an ad for this thing called Kylo. This sort of trendy startup. Hey, we got this thing called Kylo, and it was this. It was basically this flexible, like almost like a circuit board, and it was supposed to be a pain relief device.
Jesus Christ!
And no, genuine. And it's supposed to have nanocapacitors on it, and you apply it onto your skin between your brain and the pain. That's a nice little slogan there. You put it on your skin.
Copyright.
No, this genuinely. You can go to the website. It's called Kylo. Yeah, between the
Trademark
brain and the pain. And
I saw something similar with a guy who had on an LP turning table. He had something turning around the crystals and those circular things with something on turning around. That would clear the area for whatever.
Yeah.
Damn.
And but this was an actual company, an actual product, and I just and I didn't know for certain. Maybe it did actually have some effect, but it's one of those things that you think this sounds, this sounds a little bit dodgy, and it was a very well-made advert as well, so it didn't come across as amateurish. But you're like, is this really gonna like?
Was that the bandages, the smalls with a zigzag pattern on them?
Yeah. I think.
Sorry, hang on. Martin H. Hi, Martin H. He's in the chat. Says that was a Mr. Sensible video.
Oh, Mr. Sensible got him. I'm glad.
Probably also Thunderfoot.
Whoop.
Yeah.
I think Thunderfoot also have done something with that.
Have you do you guys know about placebos?
Yes.
Because that's
little bit.
Yeah, because that's an interesting thing with medicine. Because it's very interesting how if I would give you something and say this will sort out your headaches, you will not have a headache again if you take this. Chances are
it's bullshit.
But yeah, it could be bullshit. But chances are you will feel better because I'm taking something that's supposed to make me feel better, called the placebo effect. So to judge against this, when you do a drug trial, there are two potential things you could get. One is the actual drug. Two is a placebo. Because it could be the fact that if someone's getting injected with anything, they are going to feel like they're going to feel better because, I'm having an injection. It's very, very interesting.
And then I've actually heard people say that the fact there is a placebo effect is proof that basically your mind can heal yourself, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm not saying it is, but like there is that other side of it to say, well, how do you heal when there's been no other interjection apart from you believing you're healing?
Mike M asks, don't they use placebos in vaccine testing stages? Yes, they do sometimes, because they want to make sure that the people who are dealing with an illness or dealing with the disease that they're trying to cure actually have the side effects that they should be getting, or if they're trying to work out the side effects, they do sometimes use placebos to kind of try and judge that.
Yeah.
It's an important part of validation, really.
Yeah, and also it's like it's almost like a control, which is very, very common in science. You have the one that you do nothing to, but everything else is the same.
Hang on,
and you compare your results against that.
You just got a super chat in there.
JSS Tiger, thank you, mate. $5. Have you all seen the trailer for Eric Jabbay's new movie? Link below.
Oh God.
Oh, Dell has a credit. Dell has a credit. I know that.
I know. It's like basically this is basically Beyond the Curve, but made by flat earthers. Do you know what I mean? So,
they use the same picture, damn it.
The little catchphrase, the truth is hard to swallow. Yeah, it is. That's why they can't.
It's exactly the same picture as Jay and Truth had.
Yeah.
With that,
Oh, it's so sad, and it's going to cause actually another wave of flat earthers, though, guys. Let's be honest. So,
well, actually,
prepare ourselves.
Here's the thing. First of all, it has to get made. If it's anything like the other gobshite, they'll go into production for 2 years and not actually make anything. They'll just steal people's money. Secondly, when Beyond the Curve came out, there was a lot less creators debunking flat Earth. The content is there now. There is a lot of content there and thirdly, when Beyond the Curve came out, they were actually pushing the flat Earth in the algorithm. They're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
So we stand the chance.
It's going to. I mean, it's hard to say. It could well. I'm sure it will at least create some new flat earthers. I don't know how many. But yeah, there's lots of things to consider. I mean, when Beyond the Curve came out,
plus, like I said, that was on Netflix.
Yeah.
I should say this one doesn't have the same impact.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it was on Netflix, but the benefit of Beyond the Curve was having the scientists in there, was the Bob 15 degree per hour drift. Thanks, Bob. It was the don't tell anyone, or this could ruin us. Literally, that was that saved us, really.
To be honest,
I was a flat earther when that first came out, and I was like, he's a paid shill. That they've paid him to do that. Like,
of course.
Do you know what I mean? So that made it worse.
The thing is that I don't understand, and people are going to rip into me for this, but for a flat earther, Bob actually does have something. He's not that bad. He can work stuff out. He does have some sort of a grasp of some science, but
it's questionable.
I just don't know why on earth did he mention that. I have no idea why he mentioned that. Why? Because
when he mentioned it, he genuinely thought. If you go back and watch Simon Dan's interview with the director, but he thought the guy was genuinely on his side, and that they wouldn't actually include it in the film.
Yeah, that was a great podcast. Actually, on Simon Dan's podcast, he interviewed. Was it the director or producer of Beyond the Curve?
I can't remember. I think it was the director.
Yeah. So, I mean, he obviously gave a really in-depth interview on what the Flat Earthers were like behind the scenes, what they were expecting from it. And he really actually wasn't trying to set them up, was he? He was more or less saying, I just filmed what happened, basically, and put out what we could. Obviously, Flat Earthers tried to say, it was edited to make us all look stupid. But like he was saying is, we just put out what was put on camera, basically,
Let me see. Copy.
It's a hard case to make when you're basically conveying what flat earthers are literally saying. That's what annoys me when people say like, oh, you're making Trump look bad or something like that.
Krafty, are you doing a Gary?
I am. I'm copy pasting, but that's the link to the podcast. That is the link to the podcast with what's his name? Daniel Day Clark.
Yeah.
Who directed? He is the director. He directed Behind the Curve. So there you go. For people.
Now I'll copy paste.
Yeah.
It's a good copy paste.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Copy and paste though. Yeah, that's definitely worth a watch.
I'm allowed to do it because it's not in like a clipboard of bullshit.
Well, Keelah's a mod anyway, so.
Yeah, I think I was one of the first mods on this channel. After
You probably were actually. Yeah.
After the Cats interview.
Yep.
Keelah's pretty important in this community, I feel.
Am I?
Keelah's always there.
She's like mother hen.
I'm always there lingering in the background.
Yeah, in the chat, taking out flat earthers like nobody's business.
Oh, stop. Yeah, I'm not a mod everywhere. Thankfully, I'm not. And I got who was I having this conversation with? I can't remember who I was having this conversation with, but I was having this conversation about being a mod. It was Math Pig and Math Pig and Dave from Critical Cripple, and I don't.
Hey.
For some reason, I did. When I entered the community, people just gave me a mod wrench, and I don't know why. But I take it so seriously. Yeah, I can't when I have a mod wrench, I view it like kind of work.
Yeah.
I don't look at it as a badge of honor kind of thing. I look at it, okay, I have a duty to the chat to make it as fun as possible, and I have a duty to the channel owner to make it as easy on them as possible, because I know what it's like to be a creator. You have 15,000 things to think about at once. It is not easy running a live stream and being the host at the same time. I'm perfectly well aware of that. So my job as a moderator is to take away the stress for the creator and to make it as fun as possible in the chat. And yeah.
I actually had Simon Dan emailed me earlier and was like, "Oh, I want to thank you for because I'd been moderating in his live chats when he went live 5 times running, and he was like, "Oh, I really forgot to." And he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I actually should have thanked you, and you did a real good job for me there, buddy." And so I was like, I know what you mean. You can feel important with it. Do you know what I mean? Even though really someone's just clicked add moderator. Do you know what I mean? No one gets paid for it. Do you know what I mean? It's just
no. They don't.
Wait, I don't get paid.
It's also a symbol of caring about the channel, really. And I think the first time you were doing mod on his stream, I was like, "Can you post this link? Can you post this link? Can you post this link?"
Yeah. Yeah, and then I realised oh shit, Krafty's here. I need to be on my game, otherwise she's going to become his new lead moderator. I've got to stay ahead of Kraft.
Gary Wybenga's sock account said I sorted somebody out on Quicky's live show earlier. Yes, I did, cause fuck him.
Kieran Hughes has sent a super sticker. Thank you very much. A dancing pear. So that's good. A pear-shaped earth. Yeah. Oh yeah. FE pear review. No, thank you very much for that, Kieran, mate. Really, really is appreciated. Newman 977, hello. Mike M, hello. Yep, that's it. Thank you very much for coming along. Does mean a lot.
Yeah, there was a few of us. So I was in Cricky's show. I go to Cricky's every Sunday. And there was this guy, he waited for the whole fucking thing, right? And then like halfway through the stream, or 3/4 of the way through the stream, Creaky brought up something that Sirsik was talking about on his stream. And then all of a sudden this guy had a problem with, oh, we have a new person.
We do, yeah.
Hello, Paul.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
We can.
Hey.
Superb. Apologies, it's taken me forever to log on.
That's okay.
That's all right, mate.
How is everyone?
Just had to have you on, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Good. I'm good.
Cool.
So I have been listening in a little bit whilst I've been logging on and just trying to sort out IT nightmares.
Haven't we
Cool,
all?
mate. No, good to have you.
Am I detecting a hint of Scouse there?
Guilty. Guilty.
Tiny little bit.
We did. I did a little bit on Mr. Sensible's live a couple of weeks ago. Actually, Keelah was on there as well.
Yep. Hi.
And the whole conversation just descended into carnage around accents for a solid 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah, that was Colon. I blame Colon.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Hold him entirely irresponsible.
Yeah. But yes, Steve, that was John Clark. So John Clark, was a member of Creaky's. And then all of a sudden he was saying that he had a problem with Creaky. So people are going to super chat or they're not going to super chat. Some people like to give super chats. And every so often Creaky will give away a hat for whoever super chats. He'll put them all into like this little wheel thing and randomly select someone to win a hat. And John all of a sudden had a problem with this. 3/4 of the way through the stream, he didn't say anything. I think he actually super chatted as well. But 3/4 of the way through the stream, he just basically started calling, insulting Creaky, calling him a conformist asshole that he just wants money for auctions and shit like that.
Oh.
It was so uncalled for. So yeah, we had to time him out. He was doing my head in. He was insulting Creaky, and then he started on Creaky's wife, and that was it. As soon as he mentioned Creaky's wife, that was it. He was timed out. Like
there's a step too
three
far,
of us.
isn't there?
3 of us fucking timed him out at the same time.
I mean, at the end of the day, like I feel like Creaky he is forming a brand, if you know what I mean, and a lot of people love what he does, and a lot of people want to watch him, if you know what I mean.
I love Creaky.
In terms of making like entertaining, really funny, well-made videos, and this is no offense to any other creator, but
yeah,
Creaky
he's the best there is.
He's funny.
Really good. Yeah.
He's got a unique style, hasn't he?
Well, I think the other thing is with Creaky is I think he's I can't remember what he did now, but he's definitely a creative guy. So he's got a flair for kind of that sort of thing, and you know, video editing he's very, very good at, for example, and things like that, which is quite nice to see.
We have a sarcastic barman in the chat.
Hello, sarcastic barman.
Oh,
C4, sorry, $5. What's up, peeps? A lot, mate. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Gary Pollock, who's Creaky?
Creaky Blinder.
Someone drop a link to Creaky Blinder. Yeah, he's like you might be saying that as a joke. I don't know. If you were, you'd have probably said, "Has Creaky got an accent or something?" But no, check Creaky Blinder out. He's an absolute legend.
Check him out with subtitles on as well. He's superb.
Copy pasta. There's Creaky's channel is now in the chat.
The one thing
you're out of your 300-second timeout, are you, Krafty?
Yep. Good luck.
As someone said earlier, brave man.
It's a brave person who tries to time me out, I tell you.
I'm only doing it because there's an internet connection between us.
Not even that's going to save you, because remember, we are all crashing sarcastic barmans as soon as this lockdown is done. And I'll remember.
Yep. We're going.
Yeah,
cats
and everything is coming. We're trying to convince Dan to come.
Yeah. I think Team Skeptic might be coming as well.
Yeah, I mean, if we can link up with team and all crash barmans at once, barman, you better have a lot of beer. I'm just going to say that now. But you see, right? So right down the road from Barman's. Barman's pub is right next to a campsite. So it's a perfect place for all of us to meet up.
Quality.
Woodstock, yay!
I'll probably be sleeping in the bar though, to be honest. We'll just have a lock-in, couldn't we? Just kind of all just pass out around on the floor.
Yeah. Paige, Creaky's chat, Creaky's link is in the chat. I just posted it in the chat. So if you scroll up, you'll see him. He's a content
Paige,
creator.
make sure I'm still your favourite, Paige. Don't go over there and, you know,
I've already,
make sure you come back.
I've already taken that spot.
Yeah.
She doesn't even know who I am. I've taken that spot.
Oh, classic.
Hi, Gary. Oh, Gary. Hang on. Gary IOW, you won one of the hats, by the way. I don't know if you were in the chat, but Creaky wants
1
you.
minute,
Creaky
guys.
wants you to,
1 minute, I'll be.
Congratulations.
Creaky wants you to get in touch with him if you haven't already about that hat, Gary IOW, because you won. Woo! He had 4 to give away. I already have one, so I'm happy.
That's quite nice. The sort of giveaway thing.
Yeah, he had some sort of wallet, and a friend of mine, Chris Shapley, wanted it. So I was like giving him a little bit of competition. Didn't want the fucking thing. I just wanted to wind Chris up.
There's only one wallet I want, and that one is the bad motherfucker from Pulp Fiction.
From Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only wallet I want.
Ah, cool. Paige was being sarcastic. All good. Tusk is coming down from Scotland, by the way.
Oh, quality.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Him.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, I might actually just fly to Scotland, just to be on a train with Tusk, Pip, and Taddy.
Yeah.
Seems to be a confusion if it was Gary Pollock or Gary IOW who won there.
Gary
Pollock.
IOW.
Wrong, Gary. I think it was I who won.
No, Gary. I was there from the beginning.
It was me. Yeah.
Aye.
We know who
I
Gary
said,
didn't won. That's
I'm sorry, Gary Pollock.
Aye. Yeah. I mean, you'll have to approach Creaky over that one. Oh.
In fairness, I did say Gary IOW 3 times, but okay. Let's
sure
forget that.
I think you did, yeah.
So,
I
Paul,
think-
sorry to cut in there. I just sort of get Paul involved a bit.
Yeah.
What have you been up to today, buddy?
Crazy days. So, yeah, work.
Yeah.
Work.
Busy?
Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. So we've... Yes.
You're breaking up here.
Yeah, you're breaking.
Oh, am I breaking up?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Is that better?
That's better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, my role centers around psychiatry and it was community-based mental health. I've now been split to work between community-based patients and patients within COVID wards. So basically the idea is we can try to provide some sort of mental health support for COVID positive patients prior to sort of any potential deterioration in the condition.
Yeah.
There's been quite early on, it was noted that there was patients sort of coming out of the other side of ICU with sort of post-traumatic stress disorders, survivor guilts, things like that. So we just try and provide early intervention work for those sorts of patients to hopefully give them some sort of foundation, really, so that if they come through the other side and hopefully they do, we can try and support them. We've already got them in the system. They've already started that sort of recovery process mentally as well as physically.
I mean, no wonder you've been busy lately then.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's been an interesting day. I mean, it's it's chaos. It genuinely is chaos. This was why I was, and this is where I sort of spoke with STST a couple of weeks ago. I think it was after a chat on Mr. Sensibles, after Gary Wybenger decided to chirp in on vaccinations, and it was balmy, absolutely balmy. But I mean, fair play, he's entitled to his opinion, even if it is massively deluded. But that's where all this really developed from.
That's cool.
Yeah. And
Gary IOW asked something really important in the chat. Where the fuck is your channel memberships?
I haven't got round to it. I'm so bad. I need a manager, guys. Can someone be my manager? It took me like 6 months to learn how to go live.
Okay, well, I helped.
Will I get paid?
I
you can have 20%.
I helped Blue Marble Science set up his membership, so if you want, I can go through it with you tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I've got Teespring as well. But what I was holding off on is because I'm having my logo designed. Obviously, you know that Infinite that was on the other night.
Yeah.
So I'm holding off on that, obviously, because there's no point in bringing it out and then changing it again, if you know what I mean. So I'm kind of holding off on that one. But yeah, I do need channel memberships. I have got it. I've got the option for it.
I'll go through it with you tomorrow if you want to. I'll WhatsApp you when I get home from work.
Yeah, I don't have a clue how they work, I'm afraid. So.
Oh no, thank you very much, Krafty.
Me and Blue Marble Science went through them. If you know Blue Marble Science, you know technology is great, but it's limited for him. We went through like everything from making his icons to getting his the emotes, the emojis.
God, I love Blue Marble Science.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously one of the most intelligent guys within this community. So that just shows you can't judge someone if they can't tech. You know what I mean?
He's just such a calming presence, though.
I know.
He's one of those.
His voice. Hello, everyone. No, I'm not going to try.
That voice. Yeah.
I'm trying to make. I broached the subject with him before, but it has to happen. I have to get him to do like bedtime stories, but flurf stories.
Yeah.
And get him reading like just mad stories about flurfs.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's gonna have to happen.
Yeah, like a kind of version of our Pip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Come and have your nighttime with Blue Marble Science.
He has agreed. He has agreed to it. I just have to write the shit. I could make the power of what I could make Blue Marble Science say.
It just reminded me of Katz's stupid edits with random flat earthers that just kill me sometimes. I don't know why.
They are superb.
Yeah. He's got such a database, isn't he? If you know what I mean. I remember him saying before, like he's got so much content and sound bites, and you know what I mean. Like always got the perfect thing for the moment.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He did the hard work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why. It's so good.
See, like he put in the hard work early, but whereas I don't. But like I slowly put in more and more work. Do you know what I mean? But if only I could get to that bit where, hey, I'm monetized and also I've got channel memberships and do you know what I mean? But it just all comes as it comes.
If you look back at Conspiracy Cats, for example, if you look back at his stuff, FTFE is another one. Go back like a year, maybe a bit more. You'd be surprised how much worse the quality is. You know?
Yeah,
because it's often quite gradual, so you don't necessarily notice it as it improves. But when you go back, like, wow,
So
one thing I don't get with Conspiracy Cats is I don't get loads of that camera angle.
I know. And what's more is he has a Blue Yeti, but he doesn't fucking use it properly, which is something that I've been talking to him about. So we need his sound a lot better.
Yeah.
I speak to Katz a lot because he's just brilliant. But yeah, Katz was the first person I came across in the debunking community, and I kind of binge watched his channel. It was just weird. It's just weird. But I have a 2-parter coming out with Katz very soon.
Cool.
The first one is on Dunning-Kruger, and the second one is on the imposter syndrome. So it's the opposite to Dunning-Kruger.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
That's because that's something that's very, very common in the line of work that I'm going into, web development. That's a very common thing. I think I've suffered from it as well.
Even with us, even amongst creators, there's a lot of people. Like Creaky is one of them who, and myself included. It's one of those things. No matter how qualified you are to talk on a subject, and sometimes the more qualified you are, the more careful you are, and the more you can't really accept compliments or praise because you don't think you've done them enough. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what imposter syndrome is, Seek?
You become too modest, I suppose. Like
sort of. Yeah, you
so
talk down.
It's when you feel like, oh, I'm not actually good enough to do this. Very, 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 very common.
So we're going to delve into that a little bit.
That's good.
I mean,
I love
Paul,
Katz.
you'd know all about that, Paul, being a
Yeah, and to be fair, it can go two ways. You see it with different people at work, where they're absolutely fantastic at the job, but they're just impossible. Giving them a compliment is just an impossibility. It's like, oh no, I didn't do this. It's about the team. It's about how you approached it. It's about your input. I didn't really do anything. And no matter how much you push that towards people, it's almost it makes people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. And what's more is
sorry, C4 just sent in a super chat. Sorry, $2 later, everyone. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't. Thank you, C4, and please follow C4's instructions.
Yes, like the chat, like the stream, like the stream.
Yeah.
But it's an area a lot of people in our community kind of know quite a lot about Dunning-Kruger. Or they know of Dunning-Kruger, of the report. So we're going to get a little bit more into the technical side of it. But not a lot of people know about imposter syndrome. So we do want to do the yin and yang kind of thing. So because I come from the more sociology side, the psychology side, and he obviously comes from just the rip the piss side. So there's going to be a mixture of the two. But he can't. He's so intelligent. The guy is so intelligent. That just sometimes to bring that part out a little bit more is a good thing.
Yeah.
So he'll have to get his thinking caps on.
Was it you the other night, Krafty, saying like the difference between confidence and arrogance, or do you know what I mean? Like, you can be not arrogant, but if you've got that certain confidence, there's no reason why you shouldn't show that you know what you're talking about, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's why I'm trying to do. But after 22 years handling this stuff, I think I know quite a bit about how this works. And when you have these Dunning-Kruger people who think they can outsmart anyone with how lenses work, piece of glass, with everything about that Riley criterion and compression and all stuff happening in here. It's just, Dunning-Kruger or.
It is,
I think, but there's an area that I've been sort of looking at, and I started looking at it as part of a dissertation maybe 12, 18 months ago. And it started to go off into all sorts of crazy different angles that I'd never really considered. So I started looking at conspiracy theories, at Dunning-Kruger, at IS, and all these different elements. And as I'm looking at them, actually what I started to find was there was more of a socio-economic influence in conspiracy theory than I'd first sort of started to think about. and sort of access to education, where people are and where they live in the world, and what sort of how strong the educational system was, or how strong certain influences were with regards to, say, religion. And it just gets out of hand. And that's where I think, like with you, Krafty, like you were saying, the sociological elements really start to feed into it.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the reasons why my channel took off as well as it did, because when I came into the community, there was nobody really looking at the social aspects or the reasons behind why these kind of ideas stick in the minds of people, why they gain traction in the first place. I think that's one of the reasons why my channel took off. And I haven't really done much. I like, so part of my problem is I have a lot of stuff that I want to do, but part of it is having confidence, and part of it is just like, because I think I was saying the other day, one of my the episode that I did on education, that was originally like 35 minutes long, and I had to cut it down to 15. Like, that's a really hard thing to do. I can write and write and write, but then you have to make it accessible to people, because especially with the sociology side of things, it's so dense and there's so much that you can cover. What I'm trying to do with the Challenging Conspiracies is, or the series that I'm doing with the Challenging Conspiracies at first, is to go kind of skim the surface, to give people the hop on ramp into sociology, into this way of thinking. But if I go too deep, it'll just, people switch off because they've no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's trying to strike that balance. And so far I've been able to kind of strike that balance. And I'm getting better, I hope. I just need to do more. And again, part of that is having sorry, hang on.
Gary's back.
Fuck off.
Gary, I'll do that. Come on, Gather.
God damn it. It's not even showing me because the chat isn't working for me. Someone time that fucker out. Someone time that fucker out for me.
Do flat earthers actually think that, like, our dimensions of our planet are constantly changing or something? Because obviously, they'll say, well, where's the physical horizon? Well, there has to be one. Do you know what I mean? Like, the Earth isn't just always changing. Like, oh, the horizon's at this point this day, that point the next day. Oh, Gary, mate, honestly.
It's something that it's the latest thing that they think they're making a really good point if they bring this up. But what you were saying though, Keelah, you're right, because there's a huge amount of I'd say, like, logical and technical debunkers, which are great because that's what you need, because they know about the physics and the maths, especially, to call out some of these points. But in terms of the psychological aspect of flat earthers and conspiracy theorists, there aren't actually many people that do that. Speak Truth has done it a little bit because he's got his own experiences, but there's not, because the psychology in it is quite complex. So yeah,
I have to say I really enjoy those videos, STSD, with the psychological part. That's great content.
Oh, cheers, mate. Yeah, I mean, I can only, like I say, speak from my own perspective, and I almost actually started to feel like I was a psychologist again. And then I was like, no, rein yourself back in. You've only got personal experience for yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I always just make sure I say, in my opinion, or this is how I feel about it, if you know what I mean. Like, because I'm not an expert, but I do feel like I've got a good understanding, shall we say, but it is only my understanding. But
your personal experience is vital, because your personal experience is actually more evidentially valuable than just opinion. I could sit here and give outside opinion on multiple different psychological systems that are going on within certain different things, but actually that's supposition on my part. That's me looking at something and making an educated guess, whether that's using experience or whether that's using statistical analysis or where that's using certain profiling methods. And that makes no difference, because to compare that to somebody's personal experience, the personal experience is massively valuable.
Yeah, that's one of the things. As I said, you missed the discussion earlier, Paul. I had a flat earther, a conspiracy theorist in my house, and that's what started me. That's what got me started on YouTube, was talking about my experiences with this guy. And one of the reasons why I found Conspiracy Cats and everyone else was because I was trying to find, because I don't have a science background. My background is in sociology. That is where I'm rooted. So I don't have that strong kind of academic understanding. So I went and I gained knowledge. I educated myself with that kind of more science background. But I found the more and more I went into the science aspects, the more and more he wasn't listening. And it was, so one of the things was, oh, well, you didn't go there yourself, so it can't be true. How do you know it's true? And so then I changed tack, because again, sociology is my background. So I was like, okay, personal experience has always outweighed scientific evidence, regardless of what you might think. So I was involved in the marriage equality referendum in Ireland. I was involved in the repeal the 8th referendum. And I see Math Pig is stalking me. So the 8th Amendment was the constitutional ban on abortion in Ireland.
Yeah.
And what we found in those movements were real stories, personal experiences can't be beaten. You can't underestimate the power of someone's actual experience. So Tommy is asking for timeout. What's up?
Gary, if I may, SDSD, can I do a live debunk here on the air?
Oh,
Go
yes,
for it, mate. Yep. Please do.
Gary said, my last video demonstrates that ships become unresolvable bottom first because of angular compression and Riley-Cartesian effects. What he is using there is the photo from, I think, Critical Think with a white and red ship. Lego for the win. And I can debunk that right here, right now, with this one. If that ship was black and red.
Are you sharing your screen?
No, he's doing it on his...
You see it.
He doesn't have to.
It's on the, yeah. Only thing I had to do is just change the focus. And the white part becomes less resolvable, more resolvable than the red part. And the red part becomes more resolvable than the black part. I showed that in my last video, and that's nothing to do with Riley criterion. So this is just focus and stuff. You can see the white part is more dominant than the red, and the red is more dominant than the black. So that's nothing about the Riley criterion. Sorry, Gary.
Boom. Math Pig needs to go for juice. So bye, Math Pig. It was nice to see you. He's stalking me, apparently.
Aren't we all? Not really. Hello, Math Pig, mate. Good to see you.
Save Crafty's goat. long story there.
Space, come on.
Joe, so me and Stephen Couple Reason were talking on our on the show this morning, and we decided to do like a little Where's Wally kind of thing with the goat. So we're going to put a goat into like a Where's Wally style picture, and you have to find a goat.
Do it.
That's
Is he going to be wearing a little red and white striped T-shirt jumper?
No, it's going to be mixed in with like kind of whites and greys, and you have to find the goat. Oh, me and Reason are already organising on it. Yeah, but back to the story. So the more and more I spoke about the science to this guy, he was just switching off, you know, and he'd come out with the same bullshit that he'd just come out with. And one of them was, you know, you weren't there yourself, so, you know, what do you know, kind of thing. And I told a story, and the person who owned the goat farm was a blind man with a guide dog, and his first dog that he was ever given was a golden retriever. And he was a lecturer in just outside Manchester, and he had to go to London for this teaching conference. And he got off the train and the dog stopped working. Just lay down in the street and couldn't, he was too afraid to move because he wasn't used to the traffic, because where he was living, it was very, very quiet. Fast forward a couple of months, he went back to the guide dogs and said, look, I need a dog that's able to work both in somewhere quiet and somewhere loud. And so he got a German Shepherd. Flip forward like 2 years, and he has this German Shepherd, working well with the German Shepherd, goes down to London for another conference. The dog works fine. And so I says to him, okay. And I wasn't there. This person who you know, who's outside this door, has told me that. Am I lying? Well, you weren't there. I says, okay, go ask him the story. Pretty much word for word. It was, so what I always talk about, the story was the same, basically, because I had told the guy exactly what I had been told. And, my friend had first, it was his experience. So my point to the young fellow was, look, it's all about reliable narration. It is who you trust with the narration of a fact or a story. Do you trust 15 people over here that have tried and tested it, or do you believe this guy over here who has never worked a day in his life, or who is just out of college thinking he knows everything, or these 15 people over here who have worked in the department for 24 years or 25 years? That's the difference. It's reliable narration, and we depend on reliable narration to tell us things, to know whether it's true or not. And with science, they don't call it reliable narration, they call it peer review. So when I explained it like that, he was like, oh, okay. But it had to be told with that story.
Yeah.
And every time he came to me with another reason why this conspiracy was real, I told him another story. Well, you know me. Am I lying? He talked about shipping systems. Well, the guy whose farm it was, his son, is actually a skipper on the local ferry. So I brought him in. Right, what's your training? What do they teach you in your training? Yeah. Explain it to this guy. So he had to sit down and actually listen to someone that's been in the field, like in that particular business for the last 15 years. Again, that's you can't beat experience.
No,
you need the experience.
I think, and I don't know, I mean, it's not for me to judge, but because I've not been there. In fact, to be fair, STST, you're the one who has. But I think science, medicine, all these different complex disciplines, they're exceptionally good at being completely fucking undigestible.
Yeah,
they really
but
are.
They are so for a reason, aren't they? If you know what I mean, like
yeah, they
that
are.
Is why you need it, but
yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, it's really not helpful. And I've been pushing an agenda at work, and I'm probably pissing people off with it, but I'm pushing an agenda at work that people need to start talking about COVID in really simple terms.
Yeah.
People need to start talking about physics in really simple terms.
Yes.
Photography, astrophotography, physics, geology, all these things that come together that actually would undermine any flat earth theory in 3 seconds flat are undigestible. They're not easily absorbed. They're not easily understood. And that's fine. And I get that. But if scientific communicators became more efficient at breaking things down and explaining things, people would make up their own minds. You don't have to sell. You don't have to sell that the Earth's a fucking sphere, because it is. That shit sells itself. You've got to.
In my opinion, I think there's only 2 debunkers that I've seen that do that really well. Conspiracy Cats.
Yeah.
And Professor Dave Explains.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
Because like I've had people say in debates before, like, oh, but F equals ma, and that's force equals mass times acceleration. But if you're not used to physics, that's going to be like, what?
Yeah.
What the fuck is this formula? But if you break it down to what it actually means, all it means is if you want something to move, because if something's moving, you're going from 0 miles per hour to, I don't know, 3 miles per hour. So you're increasing its speed, therefore you're accelerating it. So to make anything move, you need to apply a force to it. You know? And the bigger that thing is, well, I need to put more force into it to get more of an accelerator. That's all it is. So you know, if you explain it like that, then most people will be able to say, "Oh, I kind of see what you're getting at."
Yeah.
You know, rather than "Oh, F equals ma," and it's like, yes, that is the formula. But when you're dealing with people
hard to
who can't
understand
figure
either.
out up or down, then.
But it's having that framework. It's having that background of understanding the linguistical framework, and if you don't have that, it's easy to dismiss.
Yeah.
It's almost.
It's not just mentioned. Actually, MC Toon as well. I think is a very great.
Actually, that's a good show.
Indicator for
Patience incarnate.
Yeah.
I have to say, when he actually gets into it, when he actually gets into discussions, and really gets into the nitty-gritty and into the detail, Team Skeptic is brilliant at it.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
But he doesn't get the chance to do it that often. That's the problem.
I think it's because people sort of trigger him, he gets triggered, and it sort of ends up being a bit of a back and forth. But if you actually was to give Team the time and like show him the respect, he would then show it back. If you know what I mean.
I've seen him sit down with people and spend like 2 hours discussing just one topic and explaining it in detail. And he's brilliant at it because he will, and he doesn't need to hide behind scientific jargon. He's able to take it out of the scientific jargon into ordinary language. And that's what people who come from an emotional background or an emotional personality, that's what they need. They need words that are familiar, not words that are they're going to feel like, oh, they're preaching at me. Do you know what I mean?
You almost need a friend.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, while you were, chatting with the guy that you lived with, you don't want to be speaking to someone and thinking, oh, they're trying to change my mind. Like, if you go into it like that, you're never going to do it. It's as simple as that. You've got to do it as like, I'll show them my mind, and do you know what I mean? But I'm not going to tell them what I think is correct, and you have to think this. And, do you know what I mean?
I've because I used to teach science, so the problem is I can't really come here and say, oh, I know what it's like to be in that position, because I don't. I was quite good when I was at school. I was fairly decent. I was pretty good at science and maths. So most of the time, I didn't. I felt quite confident in the classroom, things like that. So, but when you teach, you kind of see the other side of it, which is you sometimes teach those that really do struggle with these things. They struggle with these concepts.
The tactics they use is kind of different because it's well over a year ago now. I was talking to the Global Eye Tour in Oslo, and the first thing they start off with is the vacuum of space, and secondly of the law of thermodynamics. So they start off with something that people usually don't know anything about. That's the tactics, just to push you off. And after that, gravity, of course, anything we can't do anything about. So they start off with the things you can't prove yourself.
That was the first video I ever saw of yours, Tommy, actually, was when you went to the Global Eye Tour, and you're actually there live in person, weren't you? Yeah, that was great.
I talked to him in about 45 minutes. Yeah.
And like you say, they go to these topics where the layman's person would not know thermodynamics or gravity. I still don't, and I'll tell you now, I don't have a clue about it. But they think they have this understanding, and then a normal person, just doesn't, they know gravity exists, but they've probably never ever questioned it in their life. And then suddenly someone says, gravity's not real, and if they're in that frame of mind where They don't really like the government. They don't really like the way they think the world is lived or being run. I can take this path, you know, and
what they do
but
as
it gets
well.
the people.
Sorry, go ahead, Teague.
No, I was just going to say, like, it sort of just gets the people away from the actual genuine problems in the world, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, they're stuck thinking, oh, the Earth's flat, what are we going to do about it? But there's far worse problems in this on this planet than that, isn't there? You know, so they're so far from woke.
It's kind of escapism in a sense. It's kind of escapism if you focus on if you focus on the things that don't actually matter, you don't have to do anything about what does actually matter. I spoke about this the last time I was on. It's also fatalism, that this is the way it is. We can't change the way it is. We just have to point out that this is the way it is. IB Hunter in the chat said Dead Kennedy in Space is starting a new series with people whose jobs require the globe. So that's something to watch out for.
That's cool.
And IB Hunter, IB Hunter, we weren't ignoring you. I was not going to miss that comment. I'm looking forward to that series.
Oh, cool. Yeah, cheers for
PhD told me when he starts with the gravity work and people just deny everything, I get paid for it. No.
I love PhD Tony, because Tony is one of these people.
Yes, I fucking can.
The best thing, he has the smartest insults.
Yeah,
definitely the smartest insults.
Do you know where that came out of? That came out of the Four Beardsmen. They were having this conversation about the possibility. Who was it? J.L. Warren was slagging off Irish Demon, and he was making the point that there are things in this universe that we don't yet understand. So there could be some sort of a type of force that we associate to ghosts. He's never lived that down. He has never lived that down. We will not allow him to forget that he actually defended the idea of ghosts. That can never be forgotten. So in the course of this discussion, he said, Tony was saying, "But I'm dismissing what you're saying. It's complete and utter rubbish." And JL said, "You can't just dismiss it. You can't say that." And he's like, "Yes, I fucking can." This is after a 2-hour chat.
Yeah, there's loads of memes now. Like,
yeah,
people are putting
no more fucks are given. No more fucks are given.
There's one of like what is a Nutty Professor, and he's going like, "Yes, I can. Yes, I can." Like that, and he's like, "Yes, I fucking can." I'm trying to think. That was on Team Skeptic. Was live the other night actually with Irish Demon, and I was on there for a bit, and yeah, they were just going through them all then. So everyone, go back and check that after this. That was so funny. Yes, you
didn't Irish Demon do I think Irish Demon's done a compilation, hasn't he? Just a short compilation.
Has he?
Yeah, I think it's gone up.
This shorts have been popular lately.
I need to go find it, because that is just the funniest. It really is.
Is there any way we can do like a screen share on here and play it here?
Oh, I'd say so. Hang on. Can we find it?
I'm sure it was up. In fact, I know it was up because I watched it.
Is there a screenshot? Yeah, there's a screenshot button in the... Yeah.
Hang on. I'll see
After that, I have to go. It's close to 1 in the night here, so it's bedtime for me soon. Yeah, but I'm going to watch this first.
Well, I was going to say, actually, we will be wrapping it up after this extravaganza if we can find it. Because, yeah, approaching 2 hours on the stream. But, yes, Krafty, if you can, that'd be brilliant. And I'll, like, screen share. You screen share and we'll play it through there. I'd love to see it all. It's so funny.
I might
Thank you, everyone. Now, obviously,
I hope you don't mind.
Sorry, mate.
I might head off now.
Yeah, no, that's cool, mate. Yeah.
All right. See you later, guys. Nice
See you later. Good to speak to you.
Thanks so much for coming, buddy.
No worries. See ya.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
No, I can't find it.
No, I can't find it now.
Unless he made it. Do you know what it was titled?
No, I am looking back through it now to see if I can see it. It was only a short clip. Wasn't
Was it-
long.
That would have been recent, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Was it on the
Who
poll?
is speaking of again?
Limey play in the chat. Good night. Thanks for coming along. Great stream. Thank you very much. Just say some hellos. 9 o'clock hero. Thank you so much for coming along there. I can science that. Thank you. Marcus Dresden. How are you not a moderator? I don't know. Just modded. Thank you very much. The Mighty One as well. You're a new moderator. Thank you very much. I always, I've got to sort of appreciate the guys that pop up in my chat all the time. Also, actually, IB Hunter has got some great amateur astrophotography on his channel. So I really would go and check that out. It's not NASA. It's not any horrible, dirty space agency. It's a guy in his garden with a telescope taking some amazing photos, of what is out there. Yeah, you have a spanner, Mighty One. Have you managed to find it, Crafty, or are we?
Crafty.
I'm trying.
Crafty.
No,
Yes.
no worries
Got
if
it.
not.
No, if you have a look, because I'm struggling to get it to. I wouldn't be able to get it to screen share, but it's on. Dango Pratt Super Triggered Angry Flat Earther.
What is
And
it?
if you go to Dango Pratt Super Triggered Angry Flat Earther.
Post the link in the chat.
Oh.
Yeah, but
Yeah, post the link in the chat.
Chat on the side there.
yeah, I'll put the link in the chat. But if
Yeah.
if you play it from 17 minutes onwards,
Okay.
let me just find it. I found it on my phone because it was quicker.
Fred Bailey,
Have
all
it.
hail the mighty
17
spanner.
minutes, is it?
17 minutes on.
Okay. Ah, okay, yeah. Give me 1 second.
Cool.
One timeout. Sorry.
That's 300 seconds, Crafty.
Yeah, back off the lot, yeah.
I feel all powerful now, you see. If I met you in person, I'd be like, oh, hello. Like, I was the one that kept blocking you.
Yeah, can you share my screen?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey.
Here we go. So I'm going to hide that.
You can do it! Yes, I fucking can!
Didn't stop before that.
Better. I could do anything better than you.
Oh, you can.
Yes, I can.
Oh, you can.
Yes, I can.
Oh, you can. Yes, I fucking can!
Tide goes in, tide goes out. Never a miscommunication. You can't explain that.
Yes, I fucking can! I always get what you want. Yes, I fucking
Can't touch this.
Yes, I fucking can!
That's the best one.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Yes, I fucking can!
I think I'm entitled. You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Yes, I fucking can!
Genius.
Can't touch this.
So that happened.
Brilliant. Oh, see now,
Stop sharing now.
now PhD Tony is going to go down in just like meme history now as well. So that's brilliant. Oh my god! Thank you for getting there, Paul, for finding that, and Crafty for playing it. Amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think
No, welcome. Great fun.
should we call it a night now, guys? It's like I say, it's midnight. It's 1 for Tommy. So we'll go around and say our goodbyes. Paul, mate, thanks for coming
Yes.
along. Do you
No,
have
thank
anything
you.
want to say? Or?
No, just keep it global.
Every time you say that, I get 10 pence. So thank you for that. Brilliant. No, cheers, buddy. Always
cheers,
welcome
thank you.
along. I love, a good voice of reason, shall we say? And I think you've got one. So thank you very much, mate.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Cool. Tommy, good to see you, mate.
Hey.
First time we've actually
Thanks.
spoken live together.
Yeah, about time.
Yeah. Maybe well, with all three of you, but maybe do like more of a one-on-one. Ooh, should we say next time, if you know what I mean? So we'll get a bit more intimate. But thank you.
Shave your beard first.
Anything you want to plug? Or
Yeah, it's
anything,
fun. I don't have any big plans forward. Probably doing a live stream on Monday. I'm not sure yet. Wednesday the 10th, I probably have something big coming. I don't know yet. So in my situation, I can't plan much. But all of a sudden, I'm there.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. I'm sort of very similar. Actually, I'm either hot or cold. Do you know what I mean? But when I'm hot, I'm real hot.
Yeah.
Cool. That probably came out a little bit wrong.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah. Krafty, please take us away from me putting myself in a hole.
But why? It's so much fun. Yeah, you forget how evil I am, apparently. Yeah, so what have I got coming up? Shitloads. I have I'm determined to get the episode of Challenging Conspiracies done this week. It will be out this week. Just have to finish it up. It's on, what is it on? Chemtrails. My patrons basically voted. So every month I'm giving my patrons a vote on what the next Challenging Conspiracies is going to be. They will get 24 hours with it, and then it'll be open up to everyone else. So that's coming out this week, for sure. For sure. I've been promising for the last 2 weeks, but anyway, I have the new show Ion Society starting this month as well. I say this month, it's actually technically it is the 1st of February. So yeah, this month.
Yeah. We're the first now.
What else have I got? Oh, every Sunday I do every Sunday morning I do a thing with Steam and Cup of Reason, a live stream with Steam and Cup of Reason called Life on the Flip Side, because I'm on one side of the globe, he's on the other side of the globe. So he's in Vietnam, I'm in Ireland. So it's just an interesting little discussion between the two of us. And we will start bringing on guests. So if you want to come on next week, Seek, definitely. If you're awake at 11:30 in the morning. So we are going to, we're going to be opening it up to guests and just having a random hangout, because one of the problems for him is when all of us are streaming, he's usually in bed or he's usually in work. So we decided, because I have Sundays off, we'll just have a live stream and have a bit of crack. And if you look back, Saturday just gone, I had a live stream with my niece and nephew. We were playing Among Us, and what else were we playing? Fall Guys. So that will be happening every month as well. So more content is coming out. And I also have a series on what we mean by the social contract. So that's I'm nearly finished that whole entire series. So then I'll start bringing it out. It's a 6-part series. So I'm excited for people to hear that as well.
Cool. I'm excited myself. Thank you ever so much, Krafty, Tommy, Paul, for coming along. Everyone in the chat, Trekker T, thanks for the good entertainment, STST. Thank you very much. Most of that thanks goes to these 3 guys and Bullet Bill from earlier. But no, thank you. Paige Turner, I Can Science That. Everybody else, thank you so much for coming along. Stay safe, everybody, and keep it global.